Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is OJ. So in this video, I'll be talking about something that I have been working on for the last 2 months. It's about my HYROX journey. Now, I didn't sign up for HYROX just to get fit. I signed up because I needed to change my life. And honestly, I wasn't happy with where I was, like personally, mentally, and physically. I will say that for the last year, 2025, I was dealing with a couple of things. And one of my outlets that I would use to, I guess, get out the built up frustration or built up energy was gym. And due to me having a lot on my plate, my gym time had really honestly, it had just fallen off. Like I stopped going to the gym, which then led me to stop eating healthier. Like previously, I would always start my day off by getting up early at 4 o'clock and then going to my gym at 5 o'clock. But because for one, work had gotten super busy, I then started, coming home later, which then meant I ate dinner later, which then meant I slept later, which then I wouldn't wake up or be able to wake up as early as I normally did. Another follow-on effect from that was because I felt that I was, had like a lot of time constraints. I stopped meal prepping. I stopped making my food at home. I always had the excuse of, oh, well, I'm just gonna go for drive-through like one time today, and that one time turned into like multiple times. It turned into every day. There was a time where I was literally going to this burger place here in Australia called Grilled. Amazing. I love them. I'll go back, but not every day. And I was probably spending like $45 every single time I went because I was getting the burger, I was getting the fries, and I was getting chicken nuggets. And though it's fine, like there is nothing wrong with, going out and getting takeaway because I was under the impression that I had no time because my schedules with other things were all over the shop. I wasn't managing my time well. That's where I was. And then without realizing, honestly, by the time December had rolled around, I was at my heaviest. And I did not know. Like, I also was having what they call the weight blindness, where in my head I was thinking, oh, like I weigh this much. Anytime someone would ask, I'd be like, oh, I'm around 97 kilograms. Because I just thought that I was 97 kilograms. And then I did what most people did. And honestly, it worked out for me. So once New Year rolled around, I was like, you know what? Sorry, New Year's Eve. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go to the Australian Sports Nutrition shop and get like a full body scan because I need to know where I'm starting from. I need to know what I'm working with, and I just needed to be real with myself. So when I went to the Australian Sports Nutrition shop, I got the shock of my life. So I was 101 kilograms, and I had never been 101 kilograms ever in my life. And also, just for context, I'm 5'11. So 101 with my height wasn't really healthier for me. Like I feel this like for myself. And I just didn't realize that until I saw that day. But another thing that really, I guess, was alarming to me was we were taking pictures for Christmas because I had my family, my siblings, my mom, dad, my niece visiting me for Christmas, and we took pictures, and it was like taken, at a side angle, and my sister took the picture of me and my two brothers, and I was like, oh, let's look at the picture, and I looked at it, and I was like, oh, like why does my belly look like that? So I was like, let me just readjust my shirt, let me just suck my belly in for a bit. We took another picture. And that's when I had just realized, I was like, oh my goodness. I need to do something. It was more or less like a realization than, to beat myself down because I was already aware that I was already going through a lot, like with work, with, my personal life, and I was using food to cope. And one thing good about having my family around at the time, it just made me feel like I just wanted better for myself. It just made me feel like I need to do something that I had never done before. I needed to do something for myself, but in some way, I wanted to inspire my family, if that makes sense, especially my siblings. Like, I'm the first child of my parents. There's three after me, and then I have a little niece as well. So, from all that, I really, really needed to honestly make a change. Um, Another thing I realized as well was, for people, a lot of people growing up in ethnic households, your relationship with your weight and either a significant weight gain or a significant weight loss, or just the way your body looks with any older ethnic parents, aunts, uncles, whomever, there's no sensitivity when it comes to, just like, oh, you look like you put on weight. So, in the past, my parents would always be like, oh, look like you put on weight, or have you put on a lot of weight? Because I can tell. I would really be offended by it. I would get defensive and I would sort of snap at them. And in a way, I felt justified because I just don't think it's a kind thing to talk about someone's weight. I don't think it's a kind thing to um, point out something where someone can't fix in like 5 seconds. If someone was like, oh, your collar's flipped over, I can just fix it in 5 seconds. But if someone's like, oh, you look like you put on a bit of weight, like there's nothing I can do in this very moment to fix it. And I'm already aware of what I'm going through. I'm already aware of what I need to change. So the big turning point for me was when I went up to my parents. I remember one time I was making breakfast, and then I told my parents, I was like, so I weighed myself today, and I'm 101.6 kilograms. And I'm the heaviest that I have been in, my adult life. That is when I felt like there was something that changed. Because I told my parents to their faces, I was like, in the past when you would speak to me about my weight, it was always an issue. In the past when you pointed things out, I took offense. And I understand that you did it out of, I guess you could say, care for me. I never took it that way. But then for me, myself now, I realized that I needed to be real. And that is, you know, that was it for me. Like, I needed to change as well. And also because my birthday was coming up, because that was December. My birthday was in February and I was turning 21. I wish 31. I was turning 31. So I was like, you know what? My goal for my 30s was I'm going to make it the best decade. Whatever I did in my 20s, and that was great, I'm just going to elevate it and just make it 10 times more. Whatever didn't work, those are my building blocks for my 30s and beyond. And I just wanted to just really, really have a good life and have just, you know, give myself the best. Because I feel like I deserve the best. And everyone else does. Everyone should feel like they have something good to look forward to, or just they're just enjoying the now. And that's where HYROX comes in. So doing HYROX was honestly something that I had always wanted to do. Initially, I was planning to do HYROX last year, at the end of last year, because I had turned 30. I was new in my plan. I was like, when I turn 30, I am gonna do something like that I've never done before. I wanted to just do memorable things that when I look back, when I'm like 90, God willing, I'm like, wow, like I actually did that. Or if I'm blessed with children, I can be like, hey, your dad did this or your grandfather did this. That's crazy. So yeah, that's how HYROX came to be. And like I was saying, initially I had wanted to do it in December last year, but because of my work schedule, because of where I was physically, mentally, just overall, I just wasn't ready and I just could not do it. So I just sort of pushed it to the side. And then this year's HYROX came, and it's actually next Monday. Today is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, 4 days away, and I'm going. So, for me, I was just like, you know what? I need to lock in. I need to lock in. I need to do this for me because, you know, I don't want to go through another year and have like this goal just fall to the wayside. And also another thing that I guess you could say pushed me to going forward with HYROX was I wanted to go back to university. But then initially, I was at uni back in my early 20s, and what had happened was I had dropped out. I had dropped out because I started working full time, and then I just wasn't able to manage myself and my schedule and fit, make everything work or make everything fit. So I just sort of wasn't attending my classes, and obviously that just meant that my grades started going down. My grades started going down. I lost motivation, and then I just decided to just leave. So for me, HYROX isn't just a fitness thing. It just wasn't about me looking a certain way, me hitting a certain goal. Even though those would certain goal weight I meant, even though those things would naturally just occur, for me, the bigger picture was I wanted to do something for myself that I can use that as like a catalyst for when I try new things, or for example, going back to uni, I can then look back and be like, oh, hey, you remember when you did that one thing? You did the HYROX. It's something you've never done before, but you attempted it, you showed up, you trained, you stuck to your schedule, your eating plan, you were resting well, you were doing everything in your power to get here. And for me, that's how I'm looking at this HYROX experience, if you will. And that's how I'm thinking of it. Because, like I said, my big goal after the HYROX is going back to uni. And I am planning to reapply for my classes for next semester, which starts, I believe, in June or July. I'll need to check that. But yeah, like that's pretty much it for me. Like I just thought that I would just jump on here and share my story because I don't know, I think it's nice, share your story with people. Someone out there maybe thinking of doing what I'm doing in terms of uni or HYROX, or someone out there maybe thinking of just doing something, great, something big for them in general. And, we're all here in a way as a community. I know that we're not all in the same place, we're not all seeing each other face to face, but we interact in some way. One thing that my mum always told me and my siblings, well, my parents, but mainly my mom, is she always said that no man is an island. And when I was younger, I just had this thing, like mindset of like, oh, no, I'm an adult, I'm independent, I can do this by myself. But then when I actually started thinking about it more, or I guess you could say look at it on a deeper level, I realized how much you just rely on each other. For example, someone builds the road, someone is working to connect our power. Like I have my job that I do. Someone, connects my water, so I have running water. So I'm really not going through life as independently as I imagine or as I'm thinking. I may be doing like certain little things independently, but overall, we still rely on one another. So, you know, long story short, I just hope that me sharing my story inspires someone just to, go for it, just to, make a change. Like if that's something that's keeping you up at night, if it's something that you're envisioning, I believe that you can do it. Because here I am, 1 week out from my HYROX, and I'm still in a little bit of a disbelief with that. I'm still thinking, you actually, stuck this out. And just to, I guess, go back on sticking this out, I just wanted to also talk about my journey in terms of like my fitness. So I go to a gym called Fitstop. I'm not sure if many of you are aware of it, but Fitstop is, I always describe it as like a multifunctional gym. So you have body weight exercises, you have, traditional like barbell squats, like those kinds of like compound movements, if you will. And you have a trainer there, and they have classes. So you have like a few four classes in the morning, one at midday, and two in the afternoon. Monday to Friday, Saturday you have only two classes in the morning. So with that, I was like, you know what? I'm going to use this as my vehicle to get me to HYROX. So what I was doing was I was going to my classes. I was showing up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and then every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, I was doing my HYROX training in the afternoon. So with that, I knew that I needed to be, tight with my schedule. And that also ties in with me going back to uni because I was like, you know what, if I can do this, if I can get myself to train every morning at 5, which frees up my afternoon, that creates that space or that room for me to be able to study for my uni. So that was what, like, how that really, really helped me to lock in and really manage my time. Because I'm one of those people that I just prefer going and training in the morning. I just feel like it just sets the tone for my day. I feel like I can start my day well and, it's done. I don't have to think about it. After work, it's just whatever I need to think about, whatever I need to do at home. That's sort of my focus. Another thing that I did to really set me up was I really started getting back to my meal preps. So it was just like, seeing things on Instagram and I saved them into a little tab for my healthy meal plans. And it was like from, oh my gosh, so many amazing people. And it'd just be like little things. So I would pick like 3 recipes. I would try them. So 1 week or almost a fortnight, like in Australia, a fortnight, 2 weeks. So almost a space of 2 weeks, I would, trial, say, 3 different meals. Obviously, make enough for each day. Whichever one I like, I would keep. And then the next time, I will see if I wanted to try something else, then I would try something else. So I made Saturdays my day for my meal prep. And honestly, that just saved me so much. So I would meal prep for my lunch and dinner and my breakfast because I like making overnight wheat bix. It's like overnight oats. In Australia, we have this thing called wheat bix. Um, yes, I would make that every night for the next morning. So that was the only thing that I guess you could say, almost making every day. Um, and yeah, that was it. Like doing that, it really just changed a lot for me, like mentally and even physically as well. Like obviously, I mentioned that in New Year's Eve, I was 101 kilograms and 101 kilos and 6 grams. Um, as of last week, the last week, 28th of March, the very end of March, my weight is officially down to 94.5 kilograms. So, yeah, I am very, very excited. I am very, very happy with that. I feel very positive and very good about where I'm going with my journey to HYROX and beyond, honestly. And it just really just reinforced and proved to me that, there's so much more that I can do. There's so much more that, you know, I can come up with, just my hands, with my time, with resources that I have around me. And yeah, I don't know. It's been like really, really such a good time, honestly, because in that period of me locking in from the 16th of February to the 28th of March, we had like a fit stop challenge. So with the challenge, it's, they have like a set meal plan that you follow. You do a weigh-in at the start and then you do a weigh-in at the end. So that's where, at the end was when I got my 94 kilogram results. At the very, very start of the challenge in February, I was 99 kilograms. So from December 31st, New Year's Eve, to the 14th of February, I had roughly lost 1 kilogram. So then I was down at 99. And then from 99 kilograms, I'm now down to 94 kilograms. So it's just really good. I just would, you know, personally encourage anyone, if this is something that you want to do, if you like, for me, fitness was always a thing that I wanted to use. But I know that everyone, they have different things that you aspire to do, or different things that you are going to use as your vehicle, as your catalyst to change. And I just hope that, my story and this really inspires you. Um, well, thank you. Thank you very much for listening. I appreciate you guys, your attention. I hope that I will see you all soon with another video. In the meantime, if you have comments or any questions or even any recommendations, because this is only my um, second video. I'm only starting from scratch still, so I'm still learning about how to do these things, how to, be in front of a camera and talk, and I guess how to narrate myself, or even if writing a script. Because right now it's just I sort of wrote like dot points down, but then I'm just off the script now. I'm just running off the top of my head. So yeah, if you have any suggestions, please drop them down in the comments. If you have any comments, please leave them down. I would also encourage you to please be kind with the comments. I'm just a boy. And like, subscribe, and if you choose to share, please share as well. And I thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all next time for another video. Because actually, with this, I guess my perspective on my fitness journey with HYROX slash Fitstop, I'm trying to make it like a little series. So for this video, I was talking about why I did HYROX, my why for it. And then the next video, I'll just go deeper into my journey, like the 6 weeks leading up, because I did a little 6 week sort of lock-in training as for HYROX. So until then, I love you all. Thank you so much. Have an amazing day. God bless. Have a wonderful weekend. Bye.